The UFC Freedom 250 card, or the White House card, is tomorrow on Sunday. I'm a bit late on my matchups. I had a lot of work throughout the week, but I'm glad I'm able to make this video. Really excited for this card. A lot of great fights. Some GOAT makers potentially on this card, and a lot of big fights for the title contenders in each division. Let's jump right into it. The first fight of the night, it's only a 7-card main card, no prelims at all, starts at 8 p.m. Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. Diego Lopez obviously coming off his second loss to Alexander Volkanovski, who regained his UFC featherweight championship. Obviously, a very unfortunate event for Diego Lopez, as he was looking for a big win in this rematch that they made for no reason, coming off of the John Silva round 2 KO. Diego Lopez needs a big one here. He's beaten a lot of top contenders over his days now, and he's looking for another one in Steve Garcia. Now, obviously, Steve Garcia on a massive win streak, about 7 wins, coming off the big round 1 KO in his first main event against David Onama in November, beating Calvin Kattar, Kyle Nelson, I think Sungwoo Choi, recent top 10 featherweight Milkazel Costa. He's been on a tear. He has a lot of KOs, KO'd everybody in his win streak except for Calvin Kattar, who has an insane chin. But I think this is a bit too much of a step up for Steve Garcia. Diego Lopez, obviously people are going to look down on him. He's only about a minus 150 favorite. But Diego Lopez is my GOAT pick of the week. I think there's a lot of value in a money line pick for Diego Lopez. In fact, the Diego Lopez finish is very good pick in my opinion. I think Diego Lopez is way faster than him. Obviously, he doesn't have the best head movement, but he has a chin that's rock hard. Fuck. He has a chin that's rock hard as shit. But Steve Garcia also doesn't have a great chin, and he doesn't have the head movement to match Diego Lopez's striking. Diego Lopez throws a lot of uppercuts in the clinch. He can grapple. We haven't seen a whole lot from Steve Garcia. A lot of his fights end very early, and to be honest, his caliber of opponents has not been super great. Obviously has been very dominant in his win streak, but he's gotten dropped by guys like Nordon Beek, even in that fight that he won. He's getting hit. He got his eye cut by David Onama in that fight. It was very short, only around like 3 or 2 minutes. But he has got his eye cut, and he still dominated. It shows he can still get cracked to the head, even take a lot of damage from very little shots. I think Diego Lopez is going to shock everybody, show that he's still that top dog in the featherweight division. I think he's the best featherweight other than Volkanovski right now, and people might disagree with that. But I think he's going to show it again with this win over Steve Garcia. Because other than Volkanovski, Diego Lopez has beaten every single fighter he's faced other than Movsar Evloev. He beat Sodiq Yusuff by finish. He beat Pat Sabatini, a great win that's aged well. Pat Sabatini's on a win streak now. He beat Brian Ortega, Dan Ige, John Silva, who everybody thought was going to get a title shot. That's not really confirmed yet. Diego Lopez is, in my opinion, the best featherweight in the world, and I think he can still beat Alexander Volkanovski. He just has to tweak a few things with his fight IQ and also not give the respect that he loves to give to Volkanovski. That's a topic for a separate time. I think it's going to be a firefight through the first 2 minutes, and Diego Lopez will find a big uppercut to drop Steve Garcia and finish him on the ground with some mean ground and pound, maybe some elbows. Steve Garcia will take a lot of damage. If it doesn't stop in the first round, it'll be a 10-8 and probably a doctor stoppage from all the damage Steve Garcia takes. That's my first pick. Let's get on to the most random fight of the card. Not really surprising that Bo Nickal's on this, but the fact that he's above guys like Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia and fighting Kyle Daukaus. Now, Kyle Daukaus has had a great second stint so far in the UFC, obviously losing to guys like Brendan Allen in his first stint, Phil Hawes, Roman Dolidze, Eric Anders. And after, I think, the Eric Anders fight, he got cut from the UFC. And since then, he's gone on a tear. He's gotten, I think, three or four finishes. He's finished Gerald Meerschaert, knocked him down, and Darced him. The Darce Knight has returned to the UFC. Knocked out Michel Pereira on the feet in the first round. Now, I think everybody's going to be picking Bo Nickel coming off his big head kick KO against Rodolfo Vieira. But quite frankly, Rodolfo Vieira is not good at striking. The fact that that fight went on as long as it did is pretty embarrassing, to be honest. And Rodolfo Vieira should have been finished in the first or second round, quite frankly. With the pace that Bo Nickel puts, his striking is just not there. He's fought guys like fucking Val Woodburn, who got cut like right after his next fight with Bo Nickel. It's just ridiculous. He's fought Cody Brundage. He got a sub, and Cody Brundage nearly took him down and threw him around when he tried to shoot for a takedown. I think Kyle Dawkins, and people are saying to me, "Oh, Kyle Dawkins is actually not that bigger than Bo Nickel." When you see these guys, Kyle Dawkins towers over him. Like, he's a hulking figure. He's a big guy. He could probably go to light heavyweight. This guy is pretty freaking big. And he has good striking. He has a great submission threat, which Bo Nickel does not have. If Bo Nickel gets your back or he gets your head from a front headlock, you're not thinking, oh, this guy's gonna try to pull a Darce. He's not gonna pull an RNC. No, you think, oh, this guy's just gonna backpack me. Oh, actually, I have time to get up. I think Kyle Dawkins at plus 255 is a steal, and I think, quite frankly, he might get a finish in the first round. I think it'll be a firefight. I think it goes one of two ways. Either Kyle Dawkins gets an early finish, or Bo Nickel has a dominant performance over 3 rounds, but doesn't get a finish over Kyle Dawkins. He has good durability now. He might have sauced a bit when he went down to CFFC, so kind of worried for Bo Nickel in that case, but he's looked very well and very good in his last 2 fights. I think like a Michel Pereira beats a Bo Nickel, and Bo Nickel, he's had very favorable matchups. So I think this is the first one recently, other than Reiner de Ritter, that really will trouble him. And we even saw it with Reiner de Ritter. A guy with decent striking really troubles him. A guy with a jab, a guy that follows it with a two. He's not gonna have a great time with that. And I think that a guy that just throws straights, a guy that has good submission threat, will get Bo Nickel. So my pick is Kyle Dawkins via sub in the first round. I think he's gonna knock him down and he's gonna go for a sub attempt and immediately get it while Bo Nickel is freaking panicking. That's the second pick. Next up, oh boy, I know somebody's gonna tell me something about this pick, and I think you can already tell. So I'm not gonna beat around the freaking bush. Michael Chandler via sub in the second round. Obviously, Michael Chandler is on a big 3-fight losing streak, and now he's gotten finished by Paddy Pimblett. He's looking for a big fight because, quite frankly, he's probably going to retire regardless of the result. I think he's already said this himself. He's very old now. He's 40. He's been waiting for a McGregor fight. McGregor's fighting Holloway at 170 now. He lost his red panty night. Mauricio Rufy, 29 years old, about to be 30 years old. But I still don't believe in Rufy, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm quite frankly picking Chandler. When Benoit Saint-Denis, got anywhere close to Rufy, even if Fiziev got anywhere close to Rufy, he doesn't throw combinations. He wants to look for a kill shot. He doesn't even throw anything more than 2 punches at you. He will not. And he struggled with the takedown defense, and when Benoit Saint-Denis took him down, he quit. And I don't think he's improved that. I think, especially watching the Fiziev fight, he was very happy for a guy to just continue striking with him, especially at a range that he couldn't manage. So I think obviously Michael Chandler, not a very smart guy, but recently in his last few performances, he's implemented a lot more wrestling against bigger guys that had a decent bit of grappling. So, like Charles Oliveira, Paddy Pimblett doesn't have great wrestling, but he has good grappling. And he still, if you think Paddy Pimblett's good, he took Paddy Pimblett's back. He nearly got a rear naked choke attempt. Michael Chandler still is partially that guy. He's just aged. A prime Michael Chandler probably knocks out Marisa Rufi. Marisa Rufi's not what anybody thinks he is, just because he got a KO over Fiziev who wants to strike at range with him. This is a guy with a chip on his shoulder who was fighting for the U.S. of frickin' A on White House soil. He's going to look for a knockout, but I think if he's smart, I think if he's an entertainer, he's going to lift Marisa Rufi up into the air and slam him on his head. And while he's discombobulated, he's going to go for some big ground and pound, or he's going to get a sub. And I think we're going to see a vintage Michael Chandler rear naked choke with the hand grip instead of the hiding the hand. I'm really going to go out on a limb and pick Michael Chandler here. I'm going to get clowned for this either way, but I don't care. I'm going to go out on my guns, and I just don't trust Mauricio Rufi at a minus 600. That's pretty ridiculous for his skill set. Michael Chandler all the way, baby. See you at the freaking top. The next fight, Derek Lewis and Josh Hokett. Josh Hokett obviously on a big streak. He's made big waves in the UFC heavyweight division, just beating Curtis Blades in a fight of the year contender and probably one of the best fights of all time. The best heavyweight fight of all time, in my opinion. I'm very scared about this matchup. I don't know how I can stress that more. Derek Lewis is one of the most prolific knockout artists in the UFC, and he has the most knockouts in the UFC heavyweight division. And one of the problems with Derek Lewis is I really just think he has a motivation issue or he's getting paid off. If you watch the Waldo Cortez Acosta fight, he just did not want to strike. He kind of was okay with just sitting back, eating a few late shots from Waldo, and the shot that dropped him, and I say dropped with like bunny ears, didn't land. It was a jab that didn't land, and he just fell over. He had like a delay to fall over, like, oh, yo, am I supposed to sell the fight now? Oh, yeah, okay, let me do that real quick. And then he just falls over. I think Derek Lewis is a live dog in this fight. Obviously, he's a big knockout artist, and he'll definitely, if he wins, it'll be a round 1 KO. Maybe a late KO, quite frankly. Because Josh Hokett, he's been saying his hands really hurt ever since the Curtis Blades fight. He threw a lot of shots, and he threw them really improperly. And he's been saying his hands hurt in interviews even since the Curtis Blades fight. And he ate a lot of shots against Curtis Blades. He doesn't have great head movement. That all being said, I'm going to trust my brain instead of my gut and my heart. I love Josh Hokett. I like D. Lou so much. But I have to go with Josh Hokett, and I think he'll get a round 2 TKO. I love Derek Lewis, but I think for a while now he's been selling fights, and I think that's probably what they'll get him to do here. Obviously, not the greatest thing you want, but it's probably going to happen. And who doesn't love a bit of Josh Hokett fun? Realistically, if Derek Lewis was never that good and he's as bad as they say and as washed as they say, he should win this fight. So I'm gonna base it off of that. He has the wrestling. He has He has accurate striking for that matter. But I'm very scared. I'm not going to really bet this unless I just say Derek Lewis by KO in like maybe the first round to get the odds. But this is a very scary fight. Josh Hokett as a minus 450 is good value, but I'm too stressed and I have too many bad experiences with D-Lu to really confirm it that much. On to the next fight. Sean O'Malley and fucking Iman Zahabi. I can't even fucking say with a straight face. Iman Zahabi's on the fucking White House. That's so ridiculous. He's gone like 4 decisions in a row. He went with a split with Cheeto Vera in late 2025. That's so ridiculous. That's so like atrociously bad. Jose Aldo, he should have lost that fight. I watched it live at UFC 305 last year. Or not 305, 315. Should have lost that fight to Jose Aldo, but it's in Canada. They gave it to this fucking bum, especially because it was in Montreal. Iman Zahabi, terrible head movement. He gets hit a lot. He has this weird like Philly shell that he likes to alternate, but he still gets hit a lot. He doesn't have great leg kick defense. His takedown attempts aren't great either. O'Malley is a much slicker striker. He's the much younger guy. Zahabi is a 38-year-old. People are forgetting that. This guy's pushing 40, and he's supposed to be a prospect in the bantamweight division. This guy, man, I think Sean O'Malley couldn't have gotten a more favorable matchup if he wanted to work his way back up to the title shot, especially because I think they're pushing. As a White House fight, Sean O'Malley getting fucking Zahabi, if he gets a big KO here, they will give him the rematch against Petr Yan because Petr Yan hasn't fought because he had back issues and Merab was still injured and recovering from the dominant beatdown. So they're waiting for this because if O'Malley doesn't have a great performance, they know he's gonna win. But if he doesn't have a spectacular performance like a big KO win, they're not giving him the title shot. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for O'Malley to get a big round 2 KO. Probably pepper him up just like he did with Song Yadong, but in the second round when Iman Zahabi is really tired, he's eating a lot of shots, he'll quit, and O'Malley will see that, and he'll land a big right hand straight on the freaking jaw of Zahabi and put him out. I don't think if you put this fight like 4 years ago, if you take away their rankings, everybody picks O'Malley without a shadow of a doubt. There's people that act, oh, I guess people aren't picking Zahabi, but I've seen so many people that are on Zahabi. I've seen so many former MMA fighters that are like, I've seen Henry Cejudo, my GOAT, go on a podcast and say, I'm picking you, Zahabi. That's so ridiculous. That's terrible. Zahabi is smaller, he's older, he's slower, he has worse takedowns, to be honest, he has worse grappling. He's pretty much worse in all areas, maybe a tiny bit better in grappling, but he doesn't even use it that well. He barely beat Jose Aldo, barely beat Vera, close fight with Pedro Munoz. Like his last finish was Iori Kilang, like that random Chinese fucker. Just embarrassing, dude. Embarrassing. On to the next fight. POATAN and Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane coming off the big eye poke against Tom Aspinall. In a fight I thought he could have won, he still eye poked that fucking bum. And he is the greatest cheater of all time. He's taking it from Jones. He's the greatest cheater in the UFC currently. Looking to fight for the UFC Interim Heavyweight Championship. I don't know how many times he's done it, but he has done it quite a few times now. He beat, I think, Derek Lewis for it, and no, I guess this is like his second time doing it. So great for Ciryl Gane. I mean, I don't know who he has in the fucking. He doesn't train with anybody related to Ali Abdulaziz. So I don't really know how he's done it, but fair play to him. I think he's going to get KO'd in the very first round. Alex Pereira is part of my slime out parlay of the week. He's the first leg of it. I think he's going to get a round 1 KO over Ciryl Gane. I think it will be dominant. I've seen a video today of POATAN doing some pad work, and he's fast. And I already believed he was fast. I've been telling everybody, I don't know why you would think a fast light heavyweight, a guy that's fast for light heavyweight, a guy that's fast for middleweight would be slow going up to heavyweight. Like Ciryl Gane is decently fast. Not super fast, but he's decently fast for heavyweight standards. But Alex Pereira was fast for a light heavyweight. How do you think that's going to work when he goes up to heavyweight? He's still going to be fast. He's going to be faster than every heavyweight that ever existed. And I think he's going to go out there. He's going to push the pace. That first front kick puts him in the distance. He's going to find his range quick. I think Gane won't be able to get his jab on. And Pereira will land a big right hook and knock him down. And probably get a big ground and pound finish. And put Ciryl Gane out cold. I don't see how Ciryl Gane has a big way in this. Maybe he tries to induce wrestling over the course of a 5-round fight. But this isn't a 5-round fight. This is a 2 or 3-round fight. The only way one of these guys wins it is putting the other out. And I'm going to take the big Alex POATAN Pereira to make UFC history and become the first man to hold 3 titles in the UFC. Alex Pereira will do it. and he'll do it in dominant fashion. And Ilia Topuria, the main event, and Justin Gaethje trying to break the curse of his two-time interim status at lightweight. Ilia Topuria trying to continue his quest to become the greatest of all time and the greatest in the lightweight division for sure. Ilia Topuria defending his belt for the first time, coming off the big win last year against Charles Oliveira, hasn't fought since. To be fair, there wasn't really contender considering Arman Tsarukyan has been fucking up every chance he gets. Didn't fight since Charles Oliveira was calling for a title shot, and then not only did he not fight, he fought Dan Hooker, headbutted him, then got into more bad business. He kept eating. He fucked his title shot against Islam Makhachev before Ilia got his. So I don't see why Arman was ever in talks, although he should have been there for the interim fight. Either way, Justin Gaethje beat Paddy Pimblett dominantly over 5 rounds in January. He called a shot. He got it. Trying to turn that interim to a lightweight undisputed championship. Avenge guys like Charles Oliveira recently, but he's just not going to do it. I think Ilia Topuria is minus 400 something now for some reason, and that's just a steal. I think if you really want super cool value for no reason, you pick Ilia Topuria by KO. Ilia Topuria by KO is my second leg of my GOAT parlay of the week. It goes for around plus 269. It is a steal. Ilia by KO is minus 200 on FanDuel. Alex Pereira is minus 110 on the money line. It's a great parlay to make. Ilia Topuria will destroy Justin Gaethje's dreams and probably retire him. Gaethje only has the puncher's chance, maybe incorporate some wrestling, but we've seen how Ilia goes with wrestlers, especially guys that are bigger than him. He has the better Greco-Roman wrestling base, and he's smaller too, so he has better chances for weight shifts. It's going to be very sad to see Gaethje go out like this, but he gave us a lot of fun fights. I think this will be fun for how many 30-second periods we get. Sadly, Ilia Topuria will continue his legend-killing streak with Justin Gaethje. Those are my official picks for UFC Freedom 250. I am very confident in these picks. I hope to go 7 for 7. I hope I can make some money this weekend as well. I hope you guys make some good money as well on your parlay. Hopefully you follow the GOAT parlay, Ilia Topuria by KO, Alex Pereira money line, or the GOAT pick of the week, Diego Lopez money line. This is a very, very good chance for you. I think you should tail me. I'm very excited for this card. Sorry for getting the video out late. I had a lot of work this week. I started 2 new jobs, so I'm very excited for that. But I'm more excited to watch these fucking awesome fights. I hope you guys have a good time. Hope your bet slips cash. Have a good one, folks. Happy hunting. It's a Sunday, so be prepared to go into work Mondays, boys. It's going to be fun. Sean Goatland out.